Hey folks, I am out in my garden. Actually, I'm in front of my hops. Hops are doing good. The hops grows very well. It gets big and bushy and out of control. What they like is to grow right straight up, but they're 25 feet. I'm not going to dig a hole in the ground and then have a trellis 25 feet up in the air. No, I'm just not going to do that. So this one here is about 5 feet. And I can train them to go up and down the trellis, right? But they'll get big and bushy and really pretty. I get a lot of compliments on it. So I'm dirty again. So today has been all day in the garden yet again. I just got done planting my horehound seeds. Boy, I forgot how tiny those seeds are. Little tiny things. But I got those planted, and I did a lot of watering. We really need rain, folks, so I'm watering by hand, right? So, still, a good day in the garden is a good day in the garden, right? So I pulled some more weeds, and I didn't do anything with sawdust today. But everything is coming up, and the geese are kind of grumpy at me. Every time I come through the garden gate, they honk and holler at me, letting me know they don't approve of being out of the garden. But in order to grow food, I've got to keep them out of the garden, right? So last year I had a big cabbage patch, and somebody said that ducks will not hurt your garden. They'll just go around getting slugs and bugs and frogs, right? Well, that turned out not to be true. I opened the gate back when I free-ranged all my birds, and well, they came up here because it was all green. Everything was all up good. Nice cabbage growing. And I ran down to the store and came back, and I had all kinds of ducks and all kinds of baby ducks eating my cabbage, folks. They completely destroyed half my cabbage in about an hour. So geese and ducks, no good in the garden. Chickens, definitely not good in the garden. Guinea fowl don't do anything in the garden but go around picking bugs. That I have found. They don't dust bathe in the garden beds or anything. They just go around getting the bugs, which I kind of miss because I've had several ticks on me. So we do a tick check 2 or 3 times a day, folks. We have to. So, but you can't gain and all. You can't have your cake and eat it too, right? There are some things that just the way it is. So I have no idea what's happening in the world. I know Travis from Prepared Homestead just posted a video. Shelly from Everyday Prep and Adventures posted a video, and something about Patera. I just caught a glance of it. Got 500,000 subscribers, folks. Can you imagine that? That's pretty good. Pretty good job there, girl. So like to say I'm a little bush, but I'm a lot bush, folks. It is, right? Nothing is easy. Nothing is free. And the harder you work and the more time and effort you put into it, the more you appreciate it, right? So somebody just yesterday, folks, said you spend way too much time in your garden. It's so much easier just to go out and buy food. Well, it is. Buying food right now is rather stressful. Growing a garden is, even though it's hard work, and you're fighting the bugs, and you're fighting the heat, it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. For me, anyway. I like playing in dirt. I like making dirt. But I did go to the post office this morning. Yeah, it was pretty early this morning. And I got a lot of nice packages. Thank you very, very much. And one in particular, not to say the others weren't just as great, but one in particular gift, I think the sender, and I don't know who it is because it didn't come with a note. It came from Amazon, no, as a gift. and I don't know who sent it. I have an idea because somebody said they were going to mail me something. Um, but they sent me insect repellent. So you're trying to save my sanity. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. And I've never tried that brand, so I'm excited to try that. I keep a can right on my deck of fly spray. I don't keep it here in the garden, and I should. I usually spray down before I come out, and then by the time it wears off, it's time for a break anyway, so I spray again. But that can is almost empty, so it doesn't spray anymore. It just kind of streams out a little bit. So perfect timing, perfect timing. And thank you for saving my sanity. I appreciate that greatly. I appreciate all the gifts, folks, and it's very kind of you. And it's not expected, it's not asked. So um, I'm very thankful that you all are so generous. Thank you so much. I know I've got to fire the rocket stove up. Um, when I get duck eggs or goose eggs that are dirty. Chicken eggs are clean, but goose and duck eggs, even though you change the nest box, they just come out all poopy, right? So what I do is put them in a container, and then at the end of the week, I just fire my rocket stove up, get an old pot out, and just break them into the pot and cook them up, scramble them up, and feed them to the birds the next day. They really appreciate it, and that's protein, and they're giving me eggs to eat, and I'm giving some of them back for them to eat. So it's a win-win situation. So there's still a lot to do in the garden as I look around. Even though I've expanded my garden and I've got a lot growing, every time I just step back and look at my garden, it doesn't seem that big, but it grows a lot of food, folks. Now I can see where I can put a few more beds here and there, but it's not going to be this year. I need to finish my garden so I can move on to firewood. I can move on to processing some birds. I can move on to other projects, right? Now today I set my cannon station up, and my sister years ago gave me some old roofing tin. So what I do is make a brace, like a cubicle, and it's about 4 feet high, 3 feet high, and I put my burner stove right in there, and that way if the wind comes up from any direction, because the open part is toward the house, I can keep a pretty constant pressure. Because if you can outside and you don't have some sort of windbreak and the wind comes up, even swirls a little bit, you're going to watch that. Well, I have a dial gauge, a Presto dial gauge canner, and you can watch that needle start dropping when that wind comes up, and that is not good, folks. You can't hear it's 11 pounds of pressure. You cannot let that get below 11 pounds of pressure. So the bad thing about a Presto dial gauge pressure canner is you've got to have steady heat and you've got to monitor it. You can't take your eyes off it, so you're kind of sitting right there. With the pressure canners, with like the All American with the rocker, you can kind of move away from it a little bit and just keep listening to that rocker, right? But anyway, I just love my Presto canner, and if this one ever goes, I don't know why it would. I do oil the gasket and I take good care of it. I don't throw it around anywhere. I handle it like it's fine china. But if that ever, something ever happens to that, I will get another one just because I like it. Mine is, I think 23 quart. 23 quart. It holds 7 quarts or 16 pints. So, and I try to fill my canner up with something. If I'm doing meat and I don't think I have a full canner, I'll go down to the store and get some red hot dogs. I know some of you don't know what red hot dogs are. But up here, red hot dogs are the bomb. We just love red hot dogs up here, and I'll just throw them in jars and can them. They're really good, folks. They're really good. So, and if I don't do hot dogs, I'll go somewhere and get some burger or some pork or whatever, or I'll cull another bird, and so I have a full canner, right? So that's just how I do it. I don't like to waste time. I don't like to waste anything. I just don't like to waste anything. So there's still some pickup here in the garden. I got into an awful habit of leaving a bucket here and a bucket there, and it's my garden. I can do that, right? Right? So I guess everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is watered. Everything is coming up. The geese are out of the garden, and I've worked hard enough today, so I think I deserve to just sit in front of the rocket stove for a little bit and relax. That sounds awful good to me, folks. So remember, some of you are getting some pretty decent heat, right? Temperatures like Shelly said that she's got 195-degree temperature. That's too warm, folks, to be outside in without staying hydrated, right? Sorry about that. I had company pop in for a brief moment, just a brief moment. So, thank you for coming back. Thank you for any new subscribers. I hope I don't disappoint. The rooster is one of the rooster. They're being rather loud lately because I've been preparing them for their demise, right? And that won't be. I was going to do it tomorrow, but I think I'm going to do it them Saturday instead. So anyway, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for any new subscribers. Thank you for those who keep coming back. Thank you very much for those who keep sending me surprises that I get in the mail. I really appreciate that. It lets me know that I'm doing something right. Maybe. Um, and again, I'm only going to be who I am. And as my sister says, I am who I am, and that's all I ever want to be, right? That's all I ever want to be is how I am today, and whether that's a redneck, whether that is a hillbilly, whether that's just, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as I'm happy, right? That's all that matters. Um, so thank you for coming back, and I'm going to stop rambling, folks. So y'all have a good night, and thank you so much.